Hey fans, doing another toy review. That should give you an indication of what I'm doing. Today we're taking a look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Green Ranger from Hasbro. So this is a figure that I've been looking forward to for quite some time because like most people out of the Power Rangers, the Green Ranger is certainly one of my favourites, and he's definitely a fan favourite. So I've got the other 5 Mighty Morphin Rangers already, but yeah, I had to wait for this guy to be re-released in order to pick him up because the aftermarket prices on this guy were quite steep. So I'm grateful to have this. I got this from Big Bad Toy Store. They've just got their next orders in. So I got him, and I also got the another Black Ranger, because the first Black Ranger I had was the one with the Dragon Shield. So I wanted a regular Zack to have without the Dragon Shield, without having to customize it by, you know, repainting or drilling down the arms and so on and so forth. So very happy to have that. So here we have Mighty Morphin Green, and taking a look at the packaging, you can see he looks quite good in the box. For those of you who have been watching my views, you know that I'm an out-of-box collector, so I won't be keeping this in the box. But you know, he does look good if you do want to keep him mint on card. You can see all of his, well, you can't see all of his accessories. He seems to have a hidden accessory behind the portrait, but you can see his head. He's got some extra hands, dragon dagger, which is the sound I was just making there, and his sword. And on the back of the box, you've got a nice shot of Tommy there, the Green Ranger. I guess that's a lightning effect he comes with then, that's hidden behind him. And also you get the portrait on the side of the box, which is quite nice. And if you stack all of the Rangers along, you can have a nice little montage of the Rangers side by side, but I'm not going to be doing that. I just put my boxes into storage. So let's get him out of the package and see what he looks like. So yeah, there we have it. There's Tommy with his dragon dagger. I love that little tune he plays when he's summoning the Dragon Sword. So as you can see, he holds it quite well, although he can't actually hold it to his lips as snugly as I would like. But he does come with this hand, which looks like he's actually playing the notes on the dragon dagger, which is kind of cool. So you can hold it there and you can have him as if he's playing the little tune he does to summon the Dragon Sword. Although if you bend his hands, actually you can get it a bit closer to his mouth, so he can be playing the dragon dagger like that. But let's go over his articulation. So first and foremost, these Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures are excellently articulated. I mean, Hasbro figures generally are quite well articulated these days. And it was making me think about something, because soon you're going to be having the Super 7s Ultimates versions of the Power Rangers, and you know, some people have been talking about whether they're going to get them or not. And the head sculpt for Trini, the Yellow Ranger, does look good, but I don't think I'll be getting them because it's going to have the same problems that Super 7 usually has, which is single jointed knees, single jointed elbows, no ab crunch, you know, basically a lot of limited articulation. Whereas these Lightning Collection, the articulation is great. So let's go over it. Got a head which looks left and right, slightly up, slightly down. Now you've got arms which rotate all the way up, they go 360. Then you've got an upper bicep cut here which swivels. Then you've got the beautiful, what most figures need, man, double jointed elbow, so you can get more than that is it 90-degree angle there. You can get a nice deep bend on the elbows. Not only that, he also has a butterfly joint where the elbow, where the shoulder meets the body, butterfly joint there. You've got a swivel at the top hinge of the torso, and also an ab crunch on it, so you can go that far forward, that far back, that far forward. Let me zoom out a bit. Yeah, zoom out. Yeah, so he's got a raised rotation. Well, he hasn't got a raised rotation, he's got the upper torso rotation. And for legs wise, you can kick forward that far. You can kick back not very far because the bottom hinders the articulation, but you can do side splits about that far, which is okay. You can get some nice high kicking poses with these ranges. Now they've got double jointed knees, which is beautiful, so you can get nice, awesome articulation and posing like doing a flying knee or something. And you've got an upper boot cut there. Joint's a bit stiff on this. I need to maybe warm this up with some warm water before that will open up, but this one's moving a bit more freely. And you've also got a hinge on the feet, and you've also got some slight pivot on the feet. So all in all, this is all the articulation I could really ask for a Power Rangers figure. You could do great poses, and not only that, it comes with a great variety of accessories. So if I put him back here for a moment, if he wants to stand up. So let's see what we get with Tommy. First of all, I've shown you get the Dragon Dagger, which is essential, and you get the evil Tommy head. Yeah, evil Tommy when he first appeared. He was a bad guy for the few episodes. You get the green energy effect, which will go with his sword. I think his sword's called the Sword of Darkness. I can't remember. I think it's called the Sword of Darkness. But that's his sword. And he comes with 2 other interchangeable hands. So this is the hand that was on him as default. I guess this is the one that's going to hold the sword. And he's also got a punching fist. Yeah. So let's change his hand back to the default hand. There we go. The hands come in very easily. You can pop them in and pop them out without too much trouble. In fact, this one seems to be a little loose. If I just pull on it slightly, it comes out a bit, which isn't a major problem. Shouldn't be a major problem. And if I need to maybe put some tissue in that joint to buffer it out, I can do that. So we've already seen that he can hold the Dragon Dagger, so it should be able to go in the sheath here very nicely. It fits perfectly. So there's his Dragon Dagger. Let's give him the Sword of Darkness. I think it's called the Sword of Darkness. Forgive me if I'm calling it the wrong name. It's been a while since I watched that episode with Tommy being evil. But he holds it great. That looks awesome, man. Yeah. That is pretty badass. I like that a lot. Nice firm grip. Yeah, I might have to do something about this wrist joint. It's the peg, you know, it's visible there. I might have to tighten it up a bit somehow. Nonetheless though, let's put the green energy effect on the sword. Should slide through like so. And that does look cool actually. This would make a great prop for photography with the right lighting. You could get some really good effects with this, I could tell. Yeah. So there, it's a bit heavy though, especially with this wrist being loose. It kind of causes the sword to flop down a bit, unfortunately. So I'm really going to have to do something about this joint. But otherwise, yeah, that does look good. That does look very good. See that there? Yeah, that looks awesome. Let's get him back a bit. That looks really, really cool. Now let's try the alternate head then. So some of these heads can be a bit stiff. You might have to do a little Dremel work or heating up with warm water. Let's see how this one is. It feels a bit... Oh, it comes off quite easily. So, does the Tommy head go on easily as well? Let's find out. Yeah, it's not too bad, this one. White Ranger was really stiff, but... So here you have Tommy with his evil head. And he's a bad guy. Or you can make him a good guy with just a tough expression on his face. But that looks really, really cool. I'm really, really digging this figure. I mean, as I said, Green Ranger's one of my favourite characters in Power Rangers. Well, I should say Tommy was one of my favourite characters. I think Tommy and Zack were my 2 favourites. Zack with his wild hip-hop keto moves were just out there, man. But Tommy was just an awesome character in terms of his story arc. I mean, he had some of the most character development out of all the characters in the early run. But yeah, that looks cool. So, and one thing I've noticed though, which is something that other reviewers have pointed out. Let me put his Ranger head on again. Or you could have him holding his helmet if he's talking to Zordon in an Alpha 5 in the command center. You might want to do something like this, if you can pose it. So you've got some options, which is always good to have, if I can pose it right. Come on, there you go. Hold on. Right, there you go. If you could position this somehow, he could be holding his helmet while he's talking to Zordon and Alpha 5 in the command center here like that. That could be cool, I suppose. But one thing I want to point out, first of all, let me put his helmet head back on again. So, yeah, oh, maybe I shouldn't have put the helmet on. No, let's leave it, we can do it this way. So one thing I've noticed, which other reviewers have pointed out, is that Hasbro kind of went cheap and they haven't painted the white diamonds on his chest. Now I know there's some episodes of the series, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where he didn't have the white diamonds. Perhaps, maybe this is based on that, but I think it would have been nice if they had put in the diamonds, so that if you do take his dragon shield off, he can still look, you know, like the other Rangers to a certain amount, to a certain extent, I should say. But other than that, what else have we got going on with this guy? Forgive me, I'm just playing around with him a bit. I mean, this is a great figure, man. This is a great figure. I'm really digging this. I mean, it's just so much fun to just pose these Lightning Collection figures in your hand. They're just really well articulated. These are some of the best Power Ranger figures that have been made, I'd say. I mean, I didn't collect the original toy line as a child by Bandai, and I didn't get the what are they called? They recently done a line of Bandai Power Rangers figures, but I didn't get into those. It's only the Lightning Collection that's really got me, because now the figures are in a scale that fits in with some other lines, such as G.I. Joe Classified, other 6-inch figures, and they're just really poseable. Let's get that down. Yeah, that's it. Really poseable. There's Green Ranger. So yeah, let's take a look at some comparisons now. So let's compare what we've got. I should have had some Rangers around here. Right, cool, I found some. So let's take a look at, got Kimberly here. Let's put Kimberly with her man Tommy. And now he wants to take a dive. Let's get this right. So there's Kim. There's Tommy. Let me position this a bit better. There you go. Just pan up a bit. Yes, you know, they look good. They look good together, man. Here's Trini. There's Trini. Put her here. If she stands, these stands are a bit fiddly. There she stands. So yeah, you can see they look really cool. I mean, the colours are they're just popping, man. And you know, Power Rangers was a very colourful show. I mean, you know, going from Super Sentai into Power Rangers, it was really high key and energetic. And I think the colours, when you get these Rangers together, especially against a white backdrop, they really just pop and they look very vibrant. So let's take a look at Jason next. Here's Jason. As you can see, they're starting to form quite a cool team. Zoom out a bit. Yeah, that looks great together. Let's get Billy in there. Oops, just dropped something. What we got? Bear me a minute, just getting a stand for him. There we go. So here's Billy in the mix. Man, I really love how these look together. And we need one more. We need Zach. So here's everybody's, well, my favourite, possibly my favourite Ranger, Zach. And this is the Dragon Shield version of Zack, so he's got the gold armbands on. So I've got the regular Zack, but I haven't opened him yet. I'll be doing a review of him quite soon. But let's just put Zack, if I'm going to have to move Trini. Yeah, let's put Zack back here. And there you have it, finally. And Tommy takes a dive again. But finally, I've got the original 6 Rangers all together. It's been a while. I've been waiting to complete this little set, but the wait has very much been worthwhile. Very much been worthwhile, because that looks great, and I can just imagine doing some great toy photography with these. Now there is one more comparison I suppose I could and should do. Let's get the White Ranger. So here's Tommy meets Tommy. Take these guys out. And also I should probably compare him to some villains. I don't have many of the villains at the moment. I've just got Rita, Zed and Goldar. But before I do that, here's the White Ranger, which is Tommy's next incarnation. There you go, it's White Ranger. So let's take a look at, let's get some Goldar action. Now a lot of people have complained about this Goldar in that it's too small. And this is one that I might actually go to Super 7 for, because that's something that the Super 7 monsters could actually be very cool. But because I actually want the monsters to be larger than the Rangers, because it looks like more of a menace and a challenge to them if the villains are bigger. And I know King Sphinx and Pumpkin Rapper are somewhat bigger than Goldar here. But here's Goldar. It's a bit difficult to get him to stand up because he's got the wings on his back. Maybe I need another stand. Bear with me. Just give him a stand. And also, the problem with this Goldar is that he's yellow, he's not gold. So maybe Super 7 will give an upgrade on that. Or maybe I could do some custom work on this to make him look more gold than yellow. But I'll talk about those aspects when I actually do the review of Goldar. But so here's Goldar, and how does he look versus Tommy? Tommy stands a little bit smaller than Goldar, but Goldar was really big in the series and very menacing, so that's not really very menacing in my opinion. It's an okay Goldar. He stands in as Goldar for now, but yeah, maybe the Super 7 Goldar Ultimate is the one I should probably take a look at, thinking about it now. So let's take Goldar away. Is there anybody else to do comparisons with? I suppose we could get Rita Repulsa in there. So here's Rita Repulsa. And we can have Tommy Baron to her, which would be pretty cool. So let's get Neil in again. And this would be a great shot for those of you who have read the Boom Studios Power Rangers Shattered Grid comics. This is kind of cool because you have the Green Ranger being evil in that comic, and that's pretty cool. And I've got to admit, that's one of the things that made me a fan of Power Rangers, because I think I was a bit old for the show when it came out in the early 90s, and it's only after reading the Boom Studios comics that I really got a real full appreciation for Power Rangers. And that's what got me into collecting these Lightning figures, because the comic was so good, or is so good. I still haven't finished it completely. But there you go. We can have Tommy kneeling before his mistress, or his empress, Rita Repulsa, which is really, really cool. I think now I'm going to need to get a Lord Dracon figure. Yeah. But, yeah, let me just get him back in his regular pose, and we'll have some final thoughts. Okay, so there you have it. There's my review of the Hasbro Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Green Ranger. I said that in the wrong order, let me say it again. That's the review of the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Green Ranger. Okay, What are my final thoughts? Well, I'm very happy with this figure. I mean, I've waited a long time to get this one for a decent price, and as I said, I picked it up on Big Bad Toy Store, which is a great place to pick up toys. That's usually where I get some of my toys from. I shop from a few different places. You got Kapow Toys in the UK, Forbidden Planet in the UK, obviously eBay, and then after that I usually go with Big Bad Toy Store and also TF Direct. I get a lot of my Transformers from TF Direct. Those are all good places to purchase toys from. I can't recommend them highly enough. And the price for this on the Big Bad Toy Store was, you know, regular retail price, because I was very reluctant to pay the aftermarket prices on this guy, because he was going up to from like, I guess, starting at £45 upwards, and some of these ranges are actually very expensive to get now on the aftermarket. Particularly Kimberly, the pink ranger, she's quite expensive, and I had to bite the bullet to get her. Now Hasbro is going to be releasing that pink ranger mold again with other characters wearing the pink suit, but if you want that Kimberly head, what is it, Amy Jo Johnson head, you have to get the original first release of that pink ranger. But that aside, what are the pros of this figure? Articulation, brilliant. Sculpting, brilliant. Accessories, really cool. I like the accessories. One thing I will say though is that if you put the dragon dagger in his sheath, do be careful if you're moving the figure, because it can fall out of that sheath quite easily. That's the problem that I had with the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes knife sheath. You know, if you put the knife in the sheath and you're messing with the figure, the knife can drop out and you might lose it. So just be mindful of that. I mean, if you're moving them around, it's probably best to keep that dragon dagger in your hand or in place. Scale wise, I'm very happy. I mean, it's perfect at the 6-inch scale. Articulation's brilliant. I couldn't ask for any more than what they've given us. Paint wise, now there have been some issues with the figures in terms of paint, but this is a pretty damn good paint job. I can't see any flaws. The only flaw I've got with this figure is that his right wrist is a little loose, but I should be able to fix that myself without much hassle. That shouldn't be too hard to fix at all. So would I recommend this figure? Definitely. If you're a Power Rangers fan, especially a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan, then this figure is a must-have, because the Green Ranger, man, is one of the core characters, and in my opinion, one of the coolest Rangers. So yeah, I hope that review has been helpful. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next one. I think I'm next going to be taking a look at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Black Ranger and showing a comparison between the first release with the Dragon Shield and the second release, which has the updated Zack head, which doesn't really look too great. So we'll see how that goes, but for now, thanks for watching, and take care.